Alrighty, folks, figure we'd do a quick little new additions update to the rock stockpile so I can start continue compiling my year-end album of the year list. And for the Christmas season, first up we have Savatage, Dead Winter Dead. Yes, I have never owned this. I just purchased it, and I talked about going on this John Oliva kick and picking up anything that had him on it. And, you know, he sings a couple songs on here. Album is basically Paul O'Neill's concept album. So everybody knows this album. This is the album that launched Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which I believe was also Paul O'Neill's vision. And if you guys haven't ever seen Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you're missing out. It's incredible. The stage show is top tier. So if you haven't seen Trans-Siberian Orchestra and they come to your area, you need to go check it out. So this is a good album. Really good album. I enjoyed it. And then also on my John Oliva kick, I got Oliva, Raise the Curtain. I had completely forgot this album even existed. I remember when it came out, I had heard about it coming out, and I saw it in the record store. And I looked at it, and I thought about getting it. And then I saw the album cover, and I was like, oh no, that looks like Gutter Ballet. And if you haven't heard my story, I jumped off the Savatage train with Gutter Ballet because I didn't like the album cover, I didn't like the song, and I didn't like the album title. So I was very rigid back then, and if there was any hint of selling out, I moved on to someone else. Funds dictated those moves also. But I've of course gone back. I love Gutter Ballet now. When the Crowds Are Gone, maybe my favorite Savatage song of all time. And this is, I was right in my thinking long ago that this looked like Gutter Ballet, because there is a lot of Gutter Ballet in this, but there's also a lot of Emerson, Lake and Palmer in this. It's the first song. If you put it on and didn't tell anybody who it was and said, guess who this is, they would think that it's 90% an instrumental, but they would say, this is Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Is this a lost Emerson, Lake and Palmer track? So very proggy in that sense. Good. Very good. I've only gone through this once, so still got a couple more listens before I can make a final judgment, but I don't see it going down in favor. Then next up we got April 16th. Saw these guys mentioned on Sea of Tranquility, new wave of British heavy metal band. This is a compilation that came out originally in 2016, I believe. The date on here is 1999, but I don't think that's correct. It may have been re-released in 2015. I think this one here, this was a brand new copy. I think this one actually came out in 2023, but it says Hard Rock Promotions on here, but I don't think that's the album, the label. Pardon me. But this is really good. I'm always looking for obscure new wave of British heavy metal bands. And like I said, I'd never heard of these guys. Very Tigers of Ping Tang Wildcat meets Iron Maiden debut. More so on the Tigers side than on the Iron Maiden side. But in that vein, but more hard rock than either of those debuts, because both of those debuts are pretty rocking. This one would be a little lighter fare. Then we have Gauntlet Rule, The Plague Court. Now these guys just released an album, and I just forgot the name of it. After the Kill. And like so many of these European releases, shipping is ridiculous. So I don't buy the new CD. I go and find an old copy. Like I think this one, their new album was like $24 with shipping, which is a little more than I want to spend on a band that I don't know that much about. And then I find something like this one, which is a couple years older. This was their debut, and it's like $17. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna check this out. I'll check this one out instead of the more expensive one. And this is good. I'm not familiar with a couple of the guys in here, but this is a Swedish band. A couple of the guys are from death metal bands, but I'm not a big death metal guy, so I don't know too much about them. There's not death metal vocals on here. The guy actually has a fairly clean sounding voice. He sometimes gets a little gravelly on here and sounds similar to Chris Boltondahl from Gravedigger, but he does not near as gravelly. So I'd be interested to hear what his death vocals sound like. I forgot his name. Terry Moeller, maybe. So anyway, they're kind of a super group, but they do not play death metal. They're from death metal bands, but they don't play death metal. It kind of walks the line. Like I said, I mentioned Gravedigger. It kind of walks the line between traditional metal, power metal, epic power metal, US power metal. It's all kind of thrown in there. This one I've only listened to once too, so I definitely need some more spins on this one. And then we have Midnight, Sweet Death and Ecstasy. Hold this up for a second before YouTube bans me. Yeah, I saw that one. I came on, golly, I'm drawing a blank on what the name of the album is that came before this one. That's the one that I came in on. This was the follow-up to that one. Came out in 2014. Man, drawing a blank. Terrible. I'm getting old, folks, getting old. But this one's good. Not as good as that album, if I could remember the damn name of it. But this, I mean, if you like Midnight, you're going to like this. Put that back down. It's black and speed metal, done like Midnight does. You know, I mean, it's black and speed metal, but they managed to write catchy songs. Then last but not least, we have Ginger Wildheart and the Sinners. Now, if you don't know who Ginger Wildheart is, he is the founder of the band, the Wildhearts. He also has many side projects, this being one of them. This one, he formed with two guys from the Stone Mountain Sinners. I don't know anything about them. But this is, it's kind of like the Wildhearts did an acoustic album, but there's other elements in there. There's some southern rock elements in there, southernish rock elements in there, some boogie elements in here. Still really catchy, really good. Like I said, if the Wildhearts did an acoustic album, it would sound similar to this. And you know, when I buy an album, I throw it on first and just listen to it before I start thumbing through anything, finding out what's going on. And then, and there's a song on here, I'm like, you know, that kind of, well, I recognize Dirty Water. They do a cover of Dirty Water on here by Status Quo. And then I heard another song on there, I'm like, man, that sounds like Georgia Satellites there. And now I look, I was like, oh yeah, it's 6 Years Gone, which is a Georgia Satellites cover. So, it's really good. If you're a Ginger Wildheart fan, If you haven't heard this, I guarantee you're going to like it. Alrighty, folks, here we go. 6 more to add to the rock stockpile. You guys have a good one.